Yes, sir. You know, when you see a lot of quote unquote brothers out here on these platforms and whatnot, you would think that they have your best interests at heart, but they are actually part of the go along, get along gang. You're going to catch a lot of these liberal black males at these universities, colleges, high schools, social media platforms, everybody that's trying to become a street politician, pushing all of these agendas, not understanding that they're killing you slowly. They're attacking you, but they won't get that until it's too late. For the bros that's actually trying to critically think for themselves, make decisions on their own beliefs, don't be afraid to speak your mind. You would think that dudes would learn from their mistakes. The dude that's in the middle, Michael Smith, was on ESPN. He followed the liberal black female down the rabbit hole of wokeness, and here he is now. There's nothing wrong with trying to be on a smaller platform and whatnot, but that was not your initial intention. This is what happens when you follow the female. They're not leading flies to shit in this society. No disrespect, especially when it comes to real change. That doesn't come with emotions, virtue signals, going to the movies to watch Black Panther, all of that fuckery. It comes with real change, not to digress. But bros, like I said, you're going to have to watch what you say around liberal males like this that want to call black women goddesses, want to pull up the Malcolm X quotes when it only applies to their agendas. They don't want brothers to think for themselves, speak for the youth, or things like that. They want to call them role models when they're only pushing agendas. All money ain't good money. They want to bring up that Andrew Wiggins, Kyrie Irving, amongst others that might lose out on money. Who gives a shit? If it's against what they stand up for, then that's what you should be supporting. But these people let you know left and right that they only care about getting a check. Let's see what they got to say.
And I know Vinny Goodwill, you have reported that I think is it 90%, 90+% of the league, the players are unvaccinated, are vaccinated, excuse me, are vaccinated. There is no vaccine mandate for players. Everybody else has to be vaccinated, not players, but 90% nonetheless. Specifically, Wiggins and Irving and the players who where local ordinances would compromise their ability to play in home games, excuse me. Like, what are you hearing about the seriousness of the situation and whether or not these situations will be
And you already know the media is going to take any chance they get to go at Kyrie Irving, especially for the comments that he made in regards to them and the way that he conducts himself in regards to the media. They're going to take any chance they get. When he spoke up about his mental health and wanted to take a break, did anybody care? What does that tell you? They don't care about the quote unquote black man in this society that thinks for himself. You're not going along with the propaganda just because it's there for you to suck in. You're going against the tide.
in time for them to actually participate fully with their teams?
It sounds like a matter of privilege to me, to be perfectly honest. Because if it's a 12 man on a roster who does not have his vaccine status, rectified, he's gone. If it's an 8th man, it's if even a 5th starter, probably up out of there. But because you're Kyrie Irving, because you're Andrew Wiggins, allegedly, as we have to say that just to make sure, you know what I mean, just so we're not slandering people, you have the privilege to be able to say, nah, I'm not going to do this or wait until the last possible second. I don't see why any player, regardless of whatever their usual health status is, you putting a whole bunch of stuff in your body that you don't know where it comes from or why you're putting it in your body. All of a sudden now you're going to find some religion when you see that over 1 million people worldwide are dying and everything else. And then these are the quote unquote smart people.
What is the ratio of the people that die to the people that are alive? How about the people that died to the people that actually caught it and recovered? These people want to talk about privilege. It wasn't too far along. It wasn't too long ago that you guys were talking about they have this privilege to have a platform to speak up and do little quote unquote boycotts, stand up virtue signals, Black Lives Matter on the courts and all of that goofy shit. It wasn't too long that you guys were glorifying that. But now these guys have a made up religion. Even if it doesn't come down to religion and whatnot, because San Francisco denied that. Andrew Wiggins can't be exempt from the jab for religious beliefs. So what does that tell you? They want to be your religion. They want to be your God. And these guys that are part of this go along and get along gang are the bros, quote unquote, that you got to stay away from, black man.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to attack anybody's intelligence or anything like that. Like, I'm trying very hard not to take cheap shots at some people here, but I don't get it. I totally don't get it. Whether it's you've seen it close in terms of proximity, or you've seen it in just terms of being exposed to it in your worldview, I don't see how you can be exposed to all the health professionals in the world and being able to have access to so many different streams of information that none of us actually have, access to, and still say, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to do this. And I'm going to risk possibly missing 40.
I don't think this goofball understands what he just said. You just said that Wiggins or whatever players that are not trying to take this jab have total access to health care and whatever information and data than any other regular Jane and Joe can ever imagine. So wouldn't that tell you that they know more than you? You want to say that you're not trying to insult anybody else's intelligence while insulting their intelligence? This is what the liberal males do that are worse than the females in the community, because these are the ones that are following them at these marches, holding hands with the liberal Caucasians that are the executive producers and writers for this little show on this small platform, trying to push all of this liberal slash democratic slash Luciferian bullshit to the rest of the youth. Meanwhile, you want to call these guys role models when they doing some shit that you guys are pushing? Come on, man. Does it make any sense?
On home games. If I'm Andrew Wiggins, bro, that Warriors team is trying to win a championship. What are you doing, bro? Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
It's just sad. Look at Michael Smith looking all goofy and shit, as if he doesn't understand that going woke, you're gonna go broke. He looks like he's going through it. This man was on Sports Center 6 p.m. prime time. And now he's here in a bedroom recording on YouTube, still trying to go woke. This man is looking like he's going through it. Used to be on ESPN, clean cut, want to wear Jordans, all of that. But he wants to follow that goofy broad, Jamel Hill. And now look at him now. And he's still trying to push brothers down the wrong path. But the liberal black male, all of them gotta go. It doesn't matter who's not liking that. It is what it is. Majority of people are cast-offs, just role players in this thing we call life. A big-ass stage, real-life actors.
Andrew Wiggins is the guy that the Minnesota Timberwolves could not get to play every night. Like, nothing would shake him. So on this level, this doesn't surprise me. Remember, Andrew Wiggins is the guy with all the talent in the world.
Who's going to be motivated to play basketball in Minnesota? Who wants to play for the Timberwolves? And what does that have to do with getting the jab? Every time you're in a conversation and it opposes the liberals' mindset in her or his debate, they always try to pull some shit from left field to try to add to their argument, just so they could be right about something, if that. Makes no sense. These are the bros that you got to avoid, quote unquote bros.
The talent to be a number one guy, but just doesn't want it. So, to be perfectly honest, this is very consistent with his ideology. This is very consistent with how he kicks it. Kyrie Irving, we all know Kyrie Irving pushes on doors. That's consistent.
This
pushes
is
on
all
doors.
brand.
Stage, pushes on doors that says pull, then blames the door. All those different things is Kyrie Irving's ideology. I'm not surprised. The question is, what do the teams do about this? Because peer pressure, I don't know if is necessary.
Isn't it ironic that not too long ago in a bigger event, the Olympics, and I'm not making this a gender issue because these are the same liberal black males that are also a simp, when Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka are stepping out of major competitions, these are the same dudes that are glorifying them. Does it make any sense? When they're making a decision talking about mental health, and then we got these brothers over here talking about their physical health and they don't want to take the jab and now they want to be attacked. Does it make any sense? Is the money worth it?
It. What do the teams do? Because while the Players Association, you can't get it mandated, there's got to be some mechanism you can to get these guys in line.
Well, they got to come around because it's like, so a couple of things on housekeeping. If there's a religious exemption that Andrew Wiggins seeks, that's not going to fly in San Francisco. Like, they don't care. If that's what...
They absolutely don't care. One of the most toxic cities and one of the most toxic states out here in this civilization. They don't care about religion. They're all over there trying to turn everybody into pansexuals, telling everybody to do whatever the hell you want to do. And not to digress for a minute, just to show you how wicked California is, they signed a bill last year that basically said it's up to the judge's discretion to register an individual as a sex offender if he got oral or anal sex voluntarily from that individual, unless the person is under 14, if the age gap is larger than 10 years old, or if either party said that what happened was not consensual. So basically what they're telling you is a 24-year-old can do whatever he wants to with a 14-year-old as long as it's consensual. I'm gonna let that sit right there.
This is about. Not sure about the situation in Brooklyn, if it's religion for Kyrie Irving. But here's the thing about research. There's religion and there's research. If you want to fall back on research, we're not talking about your cousin's friend's testicles here. Like, there's plenty of access to research that you have, number one. And then there's the millions of us who have acted as your de facto guinea pig.
This dude, Michael Smith, is far gone in that sunken place, and he can't get out. It's sad to see this man on the come up from around the horn to where he is now, all because he wanted to follow behind Jamel Hill. The dudes that think for themselves, you want to attack them because they're going against the script. They're going against the tide. They're not team players. But the one that are pushing agendas, the one that's down with the team and whatnot, those are the ones you glorify. The quote-unquote black community has to do their due diligence to do the research on who the media praises and who they always throw in the dirt. And then shit would make sense to them.
To prove to you that the vaccine works, that it is safe, and that it may not prevent you from ever contracting COVID, but it mitigates the symptoms.
You say it's safe. And then you say it may not stop you from contracting COVID. So what's the full purpose of taking this jab if you can still catch the COVID? If the people that took the jab are supposed to be safe, then what does it matter that the people that didn't take it are around? Doesn't make any sense. These people are the modern day gladiators. They jump the highest, they run the fastest, and they're the strongest. So they should be above all of this because you guys praise them as gods anyway. So why should they have to capitulate to such stipulations like the rest of us pawns, huh?
And it lessens your probability of contracting COVID. What other research do you need when you have real-time examples? We can go on.
What research do they need? The proof is in the pudding. They've seen other athletes. They've seen other individuals that have contracted COVID-19 and then they're back at it. When you tell people that have caught the bug that you can stay home for 2 weeks, what does that tell you? For people with pre-existing health conditions, for people that want to live in fear, because that will affect your immune system, those are the people that is going to affect. It's going to affect different people differently. We're not even hearing about the examinations of different bodies. Obese people, skinny people, people of this nation, people of that nation. We're not hearing this. People are not asking these questions. I'm not advocating for doing this or doing that.
About this, Michael, you had anything before we moved on to another topic? Or
no, I was just going to say to Vinny, like Vinny just hit it when he said, what do the teams do about it? Specifically, Brooklyn. That's why it's a case study with Brooklyn, because even before we were talking about vaccinations and what Brooklyn was going to do about it, you knew that they let Kyrie and Harden and KD kind of play by their own rules. Kyrie, during the season, I'm going to take a pause. I'm not going to tell you where I am necessarily. I'm going to play by my own. I'm going to do my own thing. So you have that personality, and then you bring in the vaccine, and you got Brooklyn pursuing a championship. I just wonder, Like they
In all honesty, Brooklyn does not need Kyrie Irving. He is a great accessory. All they need is a healthy KD and a healthy James Harden and a good amount of role players around them, and they will make it happen. KD couldn't do it alone against the Bucks. He did all he could do and then some. That man was exhausted.
somebody needs to get some award if they can bring this whole thing together and get everybody on the same page. Vinny, I don't know how they do it. Is it one of his peers? Is it KD or Harden who convinces him? Is it Steve Nash? I just don't see how anybody can convince Kyrie Irving to get vaccinated, which is what they need to do to win a championship.
Yeah.
This is about winning a championship. It is about playing a game that boys have been playing since they could dribble a basketball. It's not about your livelihood. It's not about your beliefs or morals or principles. Once they use you, they're going to spit you out, and then they're going to get the next product, the next prospect, and the cycle continues on this hamster wheel they call the sports industrial complex. They don't give a damn about Kyrie. All they want is an obedient nigga. They don't want nobody that's going against the tide. Everybody has to conform to this socialist programming that's going on left and right. Everybody wants to make these ill faces, talk shit when everybody wants to think for themselves. They're not going along with the propaganda, the fear mongering. They're actually thinking or trying to use their brain. But who are they, right? Especially being a quote unquote basketball player who should be thankful that they have this opportunity to play in the NBA. The NBA is more thankful to have these players. Who would the journalism sites, ESPN, all of these major sports platforms be without these individuals? What would they talk about, good or bad?
Two things.
Yeah.
It's two things. Let's just say, and I know we're going to move on. Let's just say that it is let's just say hypothetically, guys, it is a strict vegan sort of thing where, you hear about some cases where strict vegans do not want to put the vaccine, in their body. I'm not saying that is the case with either or both, but let's just say that that's the case, if you understand.
Man, these liberals always trying to make it a hypothetical conversation when their argument is going nowhere fast. Just wanted to pull up this clip because Michael Smith has not learned his lesson. Going super woke, you're going to go broke. Look at ESPN now. Not to digress, but you're going to go super woke. Just last year, America is so racist. Oh my God, white supremacy, police brutality, all of that goofy shit. Fast forward to today, America cares about your health. They're trying to save you, especially if you're black. Which one is it? We don't get it. These athletes were so courageous for doing virtue signals, putting the fist in the air, taking knees, talking about defunding the police and all of that goofy shit. Yet, here we are today. These are the same athletes that you want to bash for thinking for themselves. So which one is it? Like I said, you got to watch out for these pro-blacks, these liberal black males. They're just simps who don't think for themselves, that are looking for validation from the Caucasians. It is what it is. It's enough of that. I'm out.